Have you been shopping in the store recently and caught yourself wondering why egg prices have increased so significantly and literally been on a roller coaster over the last few years? Well, today's agricultural fact, I'm going to highlight avian influenza and provide a little bit more information. Also, if this goes away, you can find me on the Tube app under the same name. So if you don't want to miss out on your daily agricultural facts of the day, I am there. I'm also going to be creating a new educational Facebook page because for some reason I have limited monetary ability on longer form videos on there. I'm not sure, somehow it got flagged. All of my content is original, so I have no idea why I got flagged, but just in case. Now, the reason that I'm making this today's agricultural fact of the day, I went and stopped at the grocery store on my way home yesterday, and as I was perusing through the dairy and refrigerated section, I saw a sign on the egg section in that area, and I will put the picture here. But it reads, "Attention customers, the escalation of bird flu outbreaks nationally has caused a significant reduction of egg-laying hens, resulting in widespread supply shortages and record high costs." I've been saying this for a long time now, and I know that not everybody can keep chickens, but if you are also looking at purchasing chicks for this year, be prepared for a little bit of sticker shock. Not that the chicks so much have drastically increased, but the shipping is more expensive. Anyway, back to the egg fact. Since 2022, millions of birds have been culled, which is mass depopulation, because of bird flu infection in the United States. H5N1 infections in mammals have since been reported across the US, Canada, and other parts of the world. The 2024 infections among dairy herds were first reported instances of H5N1 causing disease in cattle, and that's mostly become an issue in the last 6-ish months or so. And as I mentioned before, California is currently in a state of emergency and has put a stop to all dairy cattle shows and poultry shows to try and prevent the spread of this. There is an area on the USDA APHIS website where you can look up recent infections of avian influenza, and it's aphis.usda.gov. And I know that some conspiracy theorists don't trust the government, but I feel like this documentation is pretty legitimate. So I've mentioned before, when a detection is found in a flock, they go in, they literally depopulate everything, which means that not that they do that, but they gas them. Now, the mass depopulation is only done in poultry or avian. This is not done in dairy cattle. So although dairy cattle are getting it from birds, fecal contamination, cross-contamination, they are only spreading it through raw milk, to my understanding. So that is why they've also put a ban on raw milk sales in the state of California. But if you do drink raw milk, this is something you should be aware of because the pasteurization process does kill avian influenza. So if you buy your milk from the grocery store and if it's pasteurized, you're good. On this website, it gives a little bit of a breakdown in commercial flocks. So this is not in wild birds. You can also look that up separately. You can find mammal cases, wild mammal cases by state. And actually in New York State, we haven't had any detections of avian influenza in poultry in the last 30 days. However, this gives a snapshot of the entire country. And overall, in the last 30 days, there have been 100 confirmed flocks that have tested positive, 49 commercial flocks, and 51 backyard flocks. That would be somebody like me. Or if you keep chickens, you got backyard chickens, that's what we're talking about. Overall, the estimated amount of birds that have been affected by this, 10.5 million. Now, I got down a rabbit hole in my small engines class this morning, and I pulled this up and started looking through it. So I will put a video here of the scroll down of what I'm seeing right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the date that it was confirmed, the state, the county name, and what type of operation that was, in addition to whether it's active or NA, which I think means that it's not applicable for that situation. And then the estimated amount of birds that have been affected. So as I was scrolling through this, from Christmas Eve until now, it's been over 3 million birds that have been depopulated, and those are large flocks. For example, in North Carolina, Hyde County, commercial table egg layer production, 3,314,900 birds for egg laying. Another big one that I saw, California, Riverside County, commercial table egg layer, 1,105,500. And the last one that I'm going, now there are others that are under $1 million, but those are the big ones. There are also several hundreds of thousands, 675,000 birds. Like, it is wild. And some of these are also broiler production facilities. So the ones that produce the meat that you buy in the grocery store, the chicken breasts that you purchase in the grocery store, they're also affected. Iowa, Sioux County, commercial table egg layer, 1.5 million birds. So I'm just saying, if you don't have your own egg laying hens yet, you may want to consider it. If you do have that capability, I myself am going to start incubating every single extra egg that I get that doesn't go towards our FFA subscription egg fundraiser. Because at that grocery store I was at, there may have been one variety of eggs per dozen. It was like medium-sized white eggs were under $5 a dozen. So I think I have a market in chicks this year. Anyway, we got enough snow yesterday. The after-school activities were canceled, so we didn't have parliamentary procedure practice yesterday, and I really wanted to have it because we need to practice, but we can't control the weather. Hope you learned something with today's agricultural fact of the day.